were a few small things that I wanted for this house just to make it comfortable and pretty. I did not want to go all out, but I did want a little entryway table because it was really lacking and I needed somewhere to put this art and to put some lamps for some cozy lighting in the winter. I ended up coming across these lamps at a local antique shop for a great price. I do want to add some fabric to them to spruce up the lampshade. So coming soon on that. Now the art here, we had that in our last house. I also found that on Facebook Marketplace for a great price. One project I couldn't wait to tackle this winter was doing a quick makeover on this bathroom. So here is the before that I showed you when we did the tour of this Victorian farmhouse. Yes, it had carpet in it, but you can just tell it had such great bones. Beadboard, the windowsills, the tile around the tub, even the vanity could be pretty with the right colors in the bathroom. So that is what I based my whole makeover design around, was just the browns that were already in there because I didn't want to do a ton. The one thing I wanted to do was make some curtains for the shelves. We went to City Sewing Room in St. Louis recently. They sell fabric by the pound. So if you're anywhere near St. Louis, go check it out. Now, just so you know, it can be underwhelming when you first walk in because there's only a few rows, but when you really look, there's so much great stuff. We all walked out with tons. Now I actually got this fabric specifically for this bathroom makeover, forgetting that we are going to go to City Sewing Room for my daughter's 16th birthday. So I ended up still going with this fabric, even though I was thinking maybe I'll switch it up. I got so many great pieces there. Maybe I'll just switch it up. But they were smaller pieces, so I'm going to use them for other projects and just stick with the one that I specifically purchased for this makeover, one that I think will look beautiful with all the other design elements that I have collected from various places. I found these candlesticks at an antique shop. The art and the cute little towel rack I got from antique shops, but I had them at the last house, so those were already collected. I got some beeswax candles that I thought just looked pretty with everything else, and then my daughter sewed me some curtains for this space. Like I said before, my main vision for this space was to bring in lots of browns so that the elements that I didn't want to redo would look right at home. So for example, the vanity. Now we did have some tile put in. We just went with white hexagon tile to try to keep it easy, simple, clean space. So it looked just like a white box with a few brown things in it. So I brought in some apothecary jars, and I know some of you are really against the whole decanting thing, and I get it. In some ways it becomes very impractical, but with these open shelves, I just wanted so badly to see a beautiful aesthetic, and I knew I could accomplish that if I used some of these apothecary jars. So the things that I couldn't really decant, I just put them over on the sides where the curtains cover, and you wouldn't believe how much joy I had this evening when I got in the bathtub, lit several candles, and then washed my face with a little apothecary jars and my cleansing oil from the dropper bottle and a little spray bottle with my toner. It was all just so lovely. Our homeschool routine is in full swing around here in the wintertime. We really like to be involved in our children's education. Whether you homeschool or your kids go to school, there are plenty of opportunities as a parent to be involved when they are home. And IXL is the perfect tool to do so. So thanks IXL for sponsoring today's video. IXL is an online learning program designed to help every child reach their potential no matter their skill level. They offer interactive practice for math, science, language arts, and social studies. They offer clear explanations to help students correct mistakes so they can improve their skills and level up. There are lessons from pre-K all the way up to calculus, and everything is organized by grade, subject, and topic, making it super simple to find the support your child needs. One of my favorite features on IXL is recommendations. As your child practices, IXL recommends specific skills that will help your child build missing foundations or take the next step with what they've been learning. It is tailor-made for each student. I also love that IXL offers video tutorials made by educators that break down topics in ways that kids can easily understand. If, as a parent, you lack the confidence in a certain subject, the video tutorials really help to break it down so both you and them understand. I also like that IXL offers interactive games. These are a fun little break when learning new skills, and kids love them. Put math and language art skills to the test with puzzles, quests, and other games. It is important for us to be involved in our children's education, and IXL is a tool that can really help with this goal. IXL is offering Farmhouse on Boom viewers a 20% discount for the first year or first month with my link in the description box below. Family memberships start at only $7.96 per month. Thanks again, IXL, for sponsoring today's video. I have had many people ask if I feed my sourdough starter with whole grain flour, and yes, I absolutely do. I love to have large quantities of sourdough starter on hand for some of those quick recipes like pancakes, waffles, crepes, pizza crust. So I'd like to have it fed with that whole grain flour so that I can use it for those applications as well. I am mixing up 1 cup of milk, half a cup of starter, half a cup of butter, 1/3 cup honey, 2 eggs, half teaspoon salt, and 3.5 cups of whole wheat flour. I'll bring this all together with my hands, let it sit for about an hour for the flour to really soak up all those liquids, and then perform about 3 or 4 stretch and folds throughout the evening, just, whenever you think of it. The timing isn't super important. You want to develop the gluten a bit, and stretch and folds to me are the easiest way to do it. I let these rolls ferment for about 24 hours because our kitchen is nice and cool. It makes a very slow fermentation process. I'll divide them in about 16 equal parts, roll them into balls, and then allow them to rise again until they're nice and poofy. Then I'll bake them at 375 degrees for about 25 to 30 minutes. These rolls are perfect to start with if you are just starting to bake with whole grains because they're nice and soft. With the addition of the butter, the oil, the eggs, they are soft and easy to love. I wanted to hang a few simple curtains in here. I didn't want to have heavy drapery. I wish I could have gone with plaid, which was my original thought, but I didn't want to go custom, and these ceilings are 10 feet tall, so all I could find was the plainest fabric. So that's what we went with. I only needed 5 panels for the windows that I felt like really needed curtains in this house. I'm enjoying the beautiful windows in the rest of the spaces. Now the rolls were ready to bake after rising. They are just so soft and tasty with butter and honey on top. I also wanted to add some curtains here in this dining room space. We still don't have our table. We are patiently, maybe impatiently waiting for that, but just some simple changes to make this place comfy and homey. I also wanted to do a few things to the downstairs bathroom. Again, let's recap with the before. Some lovely carpet, but again, great bones. Beadboard in there, the pedestal sink, the tub with the beadboard around it. I added some art that my friend Sarah Jo, she painted for our last house. She painted a watercolor of the house, and it's just so beautiful and a great keepsake. There was already several nails and screws like in the walls around the house that presumably there was art on before. So we just used those. I didn't make any new ones. We just kind of hung where things already were for several spots throughout the home. Using some of the fabric that we got from City Sewing Room, I commissioned my daughter to make some curtains for this room as well. Now I don't want it to be dark in there, and some of the rooms tend to be a little dark. That is definitely one of them. So these will probably always stay open because it's a nice tall window and it doesn't look to any neighbors or anything like that. So we don't really need curtains in there, but I just thought they would look so cute with the rest of the elements, the design elements in that space. So we had the exact same white tile put in. We hired the same company to just come in one day, do both bathrooms. Actually, it wasn't one day, thankfully, because if it was, we would have had no bathroom. But they, over 3 or 4 days, put the white tile in there. Again, just kind of a white box for me to play with. I put up that art from Sarah Jo. We brought in a rug that I had in the bathroom in the last house. Then some cute little curtains will add color and country charm to the window and make just a bit more color in this room. So I needed the curtains to be 17 inches long, and then we're going to add ties on the top as well. It's an adjustable, it's a rod, that's a tension rod, so I can move it up or down. I told her not to worry too much about the length. I knew I wanted it to be cafe style, so only half the window. This is a very simple project. So basically just creating a hem around all 4 edges of a square piece of fabric, and in the top edge tucking in some ties that she will sew so that they can be flipped out, hidden under the hem on the top, and then tied beautifully around the little tension rod. If you want to learn how to make projects like this around your home, I talk about how to make a hem, how to make a seam, how to make basic projects like curtains and pillow covers. A great skill to have if you come across some really cheap fabric. It's really nice to be able to wave your little magic wand and have something that you dream up so quickly. I do have a sewing course called the Simple Sewing Series. I'll leave a link below, but you can also just search Farmhouse on Boone Simple Sewing Series. Now, my daughter did quite a bit of math on this project because we had just enough fabric to complete it. So the ties ended up being a little bit shorter than we would want them to. And normally I tuck them in under the top hemline, but instead she just folded them in half so there wouldn't be a raw edge. We would just tack on the little folded in half tab, which you'll see shortly. So to make the tabs, she is folding in all the raw edges and then pressing them times 14. After spacing the tabs evenly on both panels, she just tacked in that folded edge so there was no raw edge, and I hung my tiny little cafe curtains in the bathroom. Now this bathroom does really struggle with light because this is the only window, so they're mostly just going to be open and sheer, so it still has plenty of light. And this green color was already in the bathroom. I think it's just beautiful with all of the white in here and then the checkered green. After some lit candles for warm, soft lighting, the beadboard, the beautiful mirror that was already here, and my painting from Sarah Jo and the rug, I think it turned out beautiful. Well, I hope that you are having a great winter. Thank you for spending a little bit of time with me in my home doing some cozy winter homemaking.